Hey there, sounds like you're ready to chat about something interesting. What's on your mind today?
I'm ready to chat about anything. What's on your mind?
I'm all ears, whether it's something fun and lighthearted or something a bit more deep and thought provoking. I'm here for it. Just let me know.
I'm up for anything. Do you want to talk about current events, or maybe something more lighthearted, like your favourite hobbies?
I'm definitely up for either. If you want to chat about current events, I can definitely fill you in on some interesting news. Or if you'd rather talk about hobbies, I'd love to hear about what you're into these days.
I'm always up for learning new things. What kind of hobbies are you into?
I love that. There's always something new and exciting to try out. Are there any hobbies you've recently picked up, or maybe something you're thinking about trying out soon?
That's cool that you're into so many different things. What's the newest hobby you've picked up, and what got you interested in it?
I recently got into digital art, actually. I was inspired by seeing all the amazing artwork people create online, and I thought it would be fun to give it a shot myself. It's been a really cool creative outlet.
That's so cool that you're getting into digital art. What kind of software or tools are you using?
I've been using Procreate on a tablet, which is super user friendly and great for beginners, but also has a lot of advanced features. It's been a lot of fun experimenting with different brushes and techniques.
That's awesome that you're diving into digital art. Procreate is a great tool, especially for beginners. Have you been following any tutorials or just experimenting on your own?
I've been in both, actually. I started out watching a few tutorials to get the hang of the basics, and then I've been experimenting on my own and just having fun with it. It's been really cool to see how quickly you can pick things up and improve.
That's awesome that you're picking things up so quickly. Do you have any favourite artists or styles that inspire your work?
I really love surreal and fantasy inspired art. Artists like Loish and Ross Tran have been super inspiring for me. I just love how they create these magical, otherworldly scenes that really draw you in.
Those artists are amazing. Their work has such a captivating and otherworldly feel. Have you tried incorporating any of those surreal or fantasy elements into your own digital art?
I have actually. I've been experimenting with creating these dreamlike landscapes and characters that feel like they belong in a fantasy world. It's been really fun to let my imagination run wild and try to bring those elements into my own work.
That sounds amazing. I'd love to see some of your work sometime. Do you post it anywhere online?
I haven't actually put any of it online yet, but I'm definitely considering sharing it at some point. Maybe once I feel a little more confident in my skills, I'll start posting it somewhere.
That's totally understandable. It takes courage to share your art, and it's great that you're focusing on building your skills. In the meantime, would you like to talk more about your creative process or maybe some specific techniques you've been exploring?
I love that. It's always fun to dive into the creative process. I really enjoy just starting with a sketch and letting the piece evolve as I go, kind of seeing where my imagination takes me.
That's a great approach.
Yeah, it definitely
I'm
keeps
glad you
things
think so.
interesting and allow.
So, what kind of projects are you working on lately? Anything exciting?
I've been dabbling in a few different things, but one of the projects I'm most excited about is creating a sort of fantasy landscape series. I'm hoping to eventually put them together into a little digital art collection, so we'll see how that goes.
That sounds like a really cool project. Are you planning to create a whole world with its own lore and characters, or will it be more focused on the visual aspect of the landscapes?
I think it's going to be a bit of both, actually. I love the idea of having a recurring character or two that pop up in different landscapes. So it kind of tells a little story as you go through the collection. So hopefully it'll be a nice mix of both world building and character development.
That sounds like a fantastic idea. It'll be really engaging to see how the character interacts with each unique landscape. Have you started sketching out any of the characters or landscapes yet?
I'm still in the early stages of designing them, but I'm thinking about having a sort of adventure character who travels through these different landscapes and maybe a mystical creature companion that joins them on their journey. I think it'll be fun to see how they evolve along the way and interact with the different environments.
That sounds like an epic adventure waiting to happen. What kind of mythical creature are you imagining as the companion? Something fierce and loyal, or maybe something small and mischievous?
I'm leaning towards something a bit whimsical and magical, maybe a small dragon or a fox like creature with some fantastical elements like glowing fur or little wings. I want it to have a really charming and mystical vibe that fits right into the fantasy world.
A glowing fox-like creature with wings sounds absolutely enchanting. It would definitely add a magical touch to your fantasy world. Have you decided on a name for this little companion yet?
Not yet, but I've been playing around with a few ideas. I want something that sounds a bit whimsical and unique, so I'm definitely open to suggestions. I think once I get to know the character a little more, the perfect name will just kind of come to me.
That's a fun challenge. To help me brainstorm, tell me a bit more about this creature. What kind of personality are you imagining?
I imagine the creature being really curious and playful, always eager to explore new places and discover hidden secrets in the landscape. I think it would have a really warm and loyal personality, always sticking by the adventure side and bringing a bit of magic and wonder to their journey.
That's adorable. With that playful and loyal personality in mind, how about Pip? It's short, whimsical, and has a bit of a mischievous ring to it, perfect for a curious companion.
Oh, I love that. Pixie has such a charming ring to it, and it definitely fits that whimsical, magical vibe I was going for. I think that might just be the perfect name for our little companion.
I'm glad you like it. So, what's the next step in bringing this fantasy world to life? Are you planning to start sketching out some landscapes, or maybe work on developing the character of the adventurer?
I think I'll probably start with a few sketches of the inventor and Pixie together just to get a feel for their dynamic and how they interact. Once I have that nailed down, I'll start working on the different landscapes and placing them in those scenes. It should be a really fun process.
That sounds like a great plan. It'll be fun to see how the adventurer and Pixie interact in different environments. What kind of art style are you going for? Something realistic, or more stylized and whimsical to match the fantasy theme?
I'm definitely leaning towards that magical fantasy vibe. So I think I'll go with something a bit more whimsical and dreamy, lots of vibrant colors, glowing elements, and just a bit of that surreal, otherworldly feel to really bring everything to life.
That sounds absolutely enchanting. With that vibrant and surreal style in mind, do you have any specific colour palettes or lighting techniques you're planning to use to create that magical atmosphere?
I definitely love using a lot of soft, glowing light and maybe a color palette that leans towards those rich jewel tones like deep purples, blues, and greens. I think that'll really help create that dreamy, magical atmosphere I'm going for.
Those rich jewel tones will definitely create a magical atmosphere. To make things even more enchanting, have you considered adding any special effects like shimmering particles or glowing outlines to enhance that otherworldly feel?
Oh, absolutely. I think adding some subtle shimmer or even some sparkling effects on the characters and landscapes would really enhance that whimsical, magical feel. It definitely adds a bit of enchantment and makes everything look even more fantastical. It's
I completely
definitely going to
agree.
be a fun.
Adding those shimmering effects would definitely elevate the magical feel of your artwork. Have you experimented with any specific techniques or brushes to achieve that glowing, ethereal look?
I have tried out a few special brushes that add a bit of a glow or sparkle effect, and they've been super fun to experiment with. It's amazing how a little bit of the right brush can really bring that extra magic to a piece.
That's fantastic. It sounds like you're really exploring the possibilities of digital art and finding your own unique style. Have you considered creating a time-lapse video of your process to share online? It could be a great way to showcase your work and inspire other artists.
That's such a great idea. I think creating a time lapse would be a really fun way to share the process and show how everything comes together from start to finish. Plus, I think people really enjoy seeing that transformation. So I'll definitely have to give that a try.
That's a fantastic idea. It would be really engaging to see the whole process from start to finish. What platform are you thinking of sharing it on? YouTube, Instagram, or somewhere else?
I think Instagram would be a great place to start since it's so visual and there's such a big art community there. But YouTube could also be a fun option, especially for longer videos or more detailed processing explanations. So maybe a bit of both and see how it goes.
That's a great idea. Sharing your work on both Instagram and YouTube will allow you to reach a wider audience and connect with different communities of artists. Do you have any other projects in mind after this fantasy landscape series, or are you planning to focus on this one for a while?
I think for now I'm going to focus on this fantasy landscape series and really see it through. But I do have a few other ideas in the back of my mind for future projects. I'm just going to take it one step at a time and enjoy the creative process as it unfolds.
That sounds like a plan. It's always great to have a few ideas simmering on the back burner. In the meantime, enjoy bringing your fantasy world to life, and don't hesitate to share your progress along the way.
Absolutely. I will. It's always fun to share the journey and see how everything evolves, and I'm really excited to see where it all goes. Thanks for all the encouragement, and I'll definitely keep you posted on how it all turns out.